All right, welcome to the Zoning Board of Appeals tonight, folks. For Thursday, November the 14th, 2024. Stand up and do the Pledge of Allegiance. To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Heather, you want to read the...
Sure. So our first appeal of the night is appeal number 2024-029, Dominic Cusumano, 1779 Edwards Avenue, Calverton, Suffolk County Tax Note Number 600-39-1-19.6, Residence A40 zoning to legalize a greenhouse and a shed. Applicant requests variances and/or relief from Chapter 301-9A1B, where side yard accessory setback is 8.8 feet and the minimum required is 20 feet. And just for the record, we have the affidavit of posting and mailing, the mailing receipts, and photos of the poster being up.
Yep, I
so
want to
we're good
welcome
go.
Mr. Barnes, Leroy. Can you hear us? Good.
Yes, I can. Thank you.
All right, sir.
Good evening, Mr.
Please raise your
Chairman.
right hand unless you're an attorney. You're not.
Nope.
I do solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Yes, I do.
Please state your name and the address.
Sure. Scott Kahn, Principal at Oyster Bay Drafting and Architecture PC, 68 West Main Street, Oyster Bay, New York. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I'm here tonight representing the Cusumano family who reside at 1779 Edwards Avenue, Baiting Hollow. We're here before you to seek a variance to maintain a shed, greenhouse with less than the minimum side yard setback allowed by town ordinance. The greenhouse has an 8.8-foot setback in lieu of the 20-foot minimum setback, asking for an 11.2 encroachment. The shed has a 16.9-foot setback on the west corner, asking for 3.1-foot encroachment. Both structures, as well as the entire property, are beautifully maintained. Neither structure can be visible from the street or even the front yard. The surrounding areas are heavily shrubbed with mature trees and plantings. And I'd like to hand in some photos I took for the board. One is of the greenhouse, one is of the shed. Thank you. That is basically it, unless I could answer any questions.
Thank you.
There's an extra one.
Here, I got it.
All right, you can use this.
And there's a photo of the interior of the shed as well. It's not finished.
It's my understanding there's a pool on the grounds, is that correct?
There's a pool, yes.
You understand it needs a C of O?
There's the pool?
Yeah.
I think he's pursuing that on a separate application, yeah. That, the pool didn't need a variance. The only reason for the variance were the sheds. That's why we're before you.
Is there anything else on the property that needs a CO?
No, we submitted an updated survey that shows everything that's on the property. It's basically the main house, the greenhouse, the shed, the pool, which is currently being filed, and that's it. Mr. Sophocles had reviewed everything, and these were the two items he wanted permits for.
We haven't seen everybody.
I know. We passed what we needed to condition it, and they get the CO.
Yeah.
Okay. Is anyone in the audience that would like to speak? Anybody on Zoom? Leroy, you got anything?
No, I'm fine with it.
Anne Marie, we have Anne Marie Prudenti, counsel for the zoning board on Zoom as well. No.
Yes, so I would just recommend that due to the significance of having a pool without a certificate of occupancy, that any grant be conditioned upon obtaining that all outstanding certificates of occupancy for any improvements on the property that did not go through the permit process and or receive a certificate of occupancy.
Understood. We can condition it based on the pool getting a C of O.
Okay. Is there anyone else? Who's got this reading? You want to put that in there about the CO?
Yep. Okay. Mr. Chairman and the board, with respect to appeal number 2024-029, I move that the appeal of Dominic Cusumano, 1779 Edwards Avenue, Calverton, SCTM number 600-39-1-19.6, Residence A40, RA40 zoning, for variance and/or relief from Town Code Chapter 301-9, A1B, where side yard accessory setback is 8.8 feet and the minimum required is 20 feet, be granted, subject to the issuance of a building permit, inspections, and requisite CO for the in-ground pool in accordance with the applications and sketches with amendments thereto, if any, as filed with the building inspector.
Second.
Mr. Frechetta?
Aye.
Portia? You guys,
A second.
so Westgate,
Aye. Aye.
Godzilla,
Aye.
and I vote aye. So your variance has been passed?
Are we
Good.
taking a vote from Leroy?
Oh, Leroy. You got to make some noise up there, Leroy.
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
So the variance has been passed. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Have a
By the
great
way,
night.
the council on Zoom, she looks kind of gray. Take care of yourself.
Well, what is this on the memo?
I don't know. You want to call me Bruschetta?
He's
He's hungry.
John, I'm here longer. He still can't pronounce my name.
I don't take it personally.
Okay, let's go.
All right, next appeal, appeal number 2024-030, Dominika Krupa, 154 Gregory Way, Wading River, Suffolk County Tax Note Number 600-58-2-10.18, Residence B80 zoning for proposed additions to residence. Applicant requests variances and/or relief from Chapter 301-31, where proposed front yard setback is 43.5 feet and the minimum required is 60 feet, where proposed rear yard setback is 32 feet and the minimum required is 75 feet, and where proposed side yard abutting road setback is 23 feet and the minimum required is 60 feet. And just a note, we did receive the posting and mailing. All of those requirements have been met, so we're good to open hearing.
Thank you. Please raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Yes, I do.
Please state your name and address.
My name is Megan Carrick, and 206 Lincoln Street, Riverhead, New York.
Tell us what you're presenting.
Alrighty, first I just have some packets, just to make it easier. Problem. So hi, everyone. I'm here tonight to represent my clients, Curtis and Dominika, who are longtime Riverhead residents and are looking to establish their roots here further. They recently purchased a home on Gregory Way and came to us with a goal of modernizing the house to have it better suit their lifestyle. Specifically, they hope to modernize the home's layout, expand the living room to make it more functional for them, and to add a two-car garage with some extra storage, as Curtis is a builder, so that's very helpful to him. After carefully considering their goals and the unique layout of the lot, we found that the best approach involved some additions. One of the additions was off of the back of the house to enlarge the living room, and the other was on the side to accommodate the garage. Due to the irregular shape of the lot and the existing location of the house, we face some design constraints. We tried our best to ensure that the design for the additions and alterations would be sympathetic to our neighbors. For instance, we located the garage addition on the side of the house that does not have any neighbors directly abutting it, and we orientated the living room addition in a way that takes advantage of the offset position of the neighbor to the rear of the house. Although our design does require setback relief, and that's why we're here, we do not feel that this was self-imposed. a self-imposed hardship due to the irregular shape of the lot and the existing position of the house. We looked at many different options for how to give Curtis and Dominika exactly what they wanted, but ultimately arrived at this design and we think that it minimally impacts the neighbors. Additionally, we do not believe that our proposal will have any adverse effects to the environment nor the character of the neighborhood. So thank you for your time tonight, and please feel free to ask any questions.
Is anyone in the audience that want to speak on this? No? Leroy, you have any comments?
Not really.
Okay.
I have no objections.
Anyone up here have any comments?
Uh,
The attic
Mr.
is.
Chairman, I have a comment.
Okay.
So
ahead.
you stated that the owner of the property had a construction business and that the garage would assist him greatly. What's the garage going to be used for?
Really just storage of the tools that he does have. It's not going to be to run a business out of it in any shape or form. It's for his cars, his lawnmower, and just storage, personal storage.
Okay, so it's personal storage. It's
Correct.
not
Sorry if I made that a
necessarily,
little bit
it
confusing,
won't
but
be for operating a business, correct?
correct, just personal storage.
Okay, and is there a second story or an attic?
There is a second story over the proposed garage, and that's just going to be unfinished space.
Megan, on the drawing, it says proposed bonus room.
Oh, I'm sorry, that should not be bonus room, that should just say attic. Correct? That's what we're moving forward with, right?
Would there be any objection to a restriction that no portion of the garage, whether it's the lower portion or the upper portion, the attic space, be used for habitable space?
No objection. There is an objection. Oh, there is an objection? I'm sorry. We would, in the future, I believe they would like to use that as living space, but not right now. We have a secondary stairwell going up to that space. That would just be for them to use as a future living room.
So the only utility you have
Well,
up there is
since
probably
you
electric,
just-
right?
At this point, yes.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman.
Anne Marie?
If I may, yes, if I may, didn't you describe that the additions to the house were to reconfigure to make it an improved living room?
That
So
would be
my
off of the back
question
of the
is,
house.
If you describe the improvements to the house to make an improved living room, then why would you need a living room in the garage?
The idea for that would be as their family grew, they might want to have space for just their family as they grow, because they are getting married in I think the summer. So I imagine that they would like kids and like to have that space. It also is just a function of the roof lines and the additional space that comes from that, from adding the garage.
Leroy, you got any comments?
Well, most people, when they build a garage, they like to build that second space for future use. Potentially even, for a not a bed and breakfast, for an accessory apartment. A young couple, you want to try to help them have some kind of income towards the house. I don't have a problem with it. And if we put a condition on it, that could have them not have the ability to apply for that rental permit. Or a building permit to actually finish it. So it's a tough decision to make, but I don't have a problem with it.
My only question, and I posed this to Heather, is an accessory apartment permitted in this zoning district?
Yes. It's Residence B80.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
You know, maybe we could put a condition that they need to come back to us if that apartment has to be built in the future. I don't think it's necessary to put that restriction on that one, in
Objection
this
to that
particular
condition?
case.
I don't,
I don't know how the other board members feel, but
they would
What do you
come back
guys
for
think?
that.
All right, it's acceptable. Leroy, that's acceptable.
Anyone else out there?
okay.
Who's got this?
I do.
Just to clarify, and Anne Marie, maybe you can help with this clarification. Would they be coming back to amend any conditions that we put on this?
Well, if they're applying for accessory, they'd come back.
Well, accessory apartments are handled through the building department, not through the zoning board. So
Good.
are we saying that they just have to make?
Well, it was just a
proper
suggestion on my behalf. It doesn't have to be that way.
I don't have that problem. Let's vote on this.
Okay.
So we're not going to put a condition on it?
As far as,
Because it
no,
has to be
especially,
followed no matter what, anyway, through the building department.
right. I mean, it's
Any
permitted.
alteration of that space would
It's
require
permitted anyway,
a
so-
subsequent building permit.
Let's move it forward, please.
Okay, so Mr. Chairman, with respect to appeal number 2024-030, I move that the appeal of Dominika Krupa, 154 Gregory Way, Wading River, Suffolk County Tax Map 600-58-2-10.18, Residence B80 zoning for variances and/or relief from Chapter 301-31, where proposed front yard setback is 43.5 feet, and the minimum required is 60, where proposed rear yard setback is 32 foot, and the minimum required is 75, and where the proposed side yard abutting road setback is 23 foot, minimum required is 60 foot, be granted in accordance with the applications and sketches with this amendment thereto, if any, as filed with the building inspector.
Second.
All right, let's vote. Mr. Porsche, are you ready? Mr. Zaweski?
Aye.
Mr. Godzilla?
Aye.
And I vote aye. So your variance has been granted, and good luck.
Don't forget
Good
about
luck.
Leroy.
Otto,
Leroy Barnes, thank you. Gotta have a bell or something.
aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Are we ready for the last appeal? Appeal number 2024-031, Jason and Jamie Pastrano, 834 Sound Shore Road in Jamesport, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 600-8-1-8, Residence A40 zoning, single-family dwelling, in-ground pool, and legalize existing hot tub. Applicant requests variances and/or relief from Chapter 219-14A2, where proposed single-family dwelling, in-ground pool, and existing hot tub are not specifically allowed development under 219-14 subsection B. All development in bluff area is prohibited unless specifically allowed by 219-14 subsection B. And just a note, we have all of the required documents, affidavits, and photos to open the hearing.
Okay. I know you're a lawyer. We don't have to swear you in, so please state your name and address.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Anton Boravina, attorney. I represent the applicants, the owners of the subject premises located at 834 Sound Shore Road in Jamesport. And the applicants, the names of the owners are Jason and Jamie Pastrano. If I may, let me just describe what currently exists on the property. The property consists of approximately 1.07 acres of residentially improved land. It is located within the A40 Residence District and the coastal erosion hazard area. The applicant is here today requesting that the board issue a 219 variance, allowing the applicant to do the following. You should know that it's going to be amended later on in a few more minutes of my presentation, but let me tell you what we want to do in sum and substance. We want to demolish the existing residential structure. That structure consists of currently a one-story bungalow with a raised deck. We then want to construct a new two-story single-family residential dwelling with a full basement and a patio located further distant from the from the bluff line, and also construct a new 20-foot by 48 20-foot by 48 in-ground pool. We also will be installing a Fuji system, septic system, once we have obtained approval from the Suffolk County Department of Health Services. But for informational purposes, the board should know that there is also an accessory structure located outside the jurisdiction of the board, but nevertheless, that accessory structure presently consists of a garage, a ported bathroom, and a office room. We are proposing to remove the garage, to have the office area used as an office area, potentially a gaming area for the family. We will not be using it, we have no present intention of using it for habitable space. There's always the possibility down the road that the applicant may want to use it for a habitable space, and the applicant understands that upon such determination or desire, the applicant would be requesting the appropriate relief from the town, allowing the accessory structure to be used for habitable purposes. There is an existing hot tub. The applicant will be removing the existing hot tub. There is a drainage pipe located adjacent to the hot tub that encroaches within the buffer, I should say. That also will be removed. Now, that said, I wish to tell the board, after discussing with the client and with Heather, who, by the way, did an outstanding job. I thank her for her assistance in helping us and have the process be guided accordingly for the board's presentation. The existing structure, that is the bungalow and the deck, is located at 14, at its closest point, is located 14 feet from the bluff line. Our application is to be amended so that our proposed structure, which consists of the pool, followed by landward of that, the patio, and landward of that, the home. The line of the pool will be located not close, at the same distance, that is 14 feet away, which is already the pre-existing non-conforming distance approved and existing by virtue of the bungalow. So we're not encroaching any further within the regulated area of the buffer zone. I submit that the application would, if granted, would satisfy the criteria associated with Section 219-9 of the Town Code, in that we submit it as reasonable and necessary for us to do. We are not in any way exacerbating or in any way adding to the environmental impacts. Indeed, we will be alleviating them by virtue of our relocating the existing structure further landward and putting in the state-of-the-art septic system as opposed to the old-fashioned, outdated one that currently exists. We will also we'll be undertaking all measures necessary and appropriate to make sure that any environmental impacts are either mitigated substantially or avoided altogether. And there will not be any value, any environmental value that we think that will be compromised.
Excuse me, Anton.
Yes, sir.
How far in will you go landward with the proposed new house? You said you're moving it in?
Yes, sir.
How far?
Well, okay, the existing, currently with the house and the deck is currently, that line is 14 feet away from the bluff line. Actually, by the way, if I may, Mr. Chairman, we've taken three measurements, and we're using the most conservative one. The three measurements relative to the existing structure is 37.2 feet, 35 feet, and 14 feet. So that portion of the existing structure closest to the bluff line, which is 14 feet, we're assuming, for the sake of argument, that the entire existing structure is 14 feet, which frankly is the more onerous or more obvious environmental matter that would be raised. Our proposed structure, Mr. Chairman, would be located at that line as well. It's not going to be any further to the lot line. Stated differently, the existing structure encroaches within the regulated area to the tune of 11 feet, but that's pre-existing non-conforming, and our new structure is also going to be encroaching to that same amount, that is 11 feet. We will not be encroaching any further than that. And as I stated earlier, we will be removing the hot tub, and we will be removing the drainage pipe as well. We also submit that our application satisfies the criteria associated with 219-20, in that there is really no alternative way to do this. We are undertaking all responsible means and methods to make sure that the construction conforms with and will satisfy applicable environmental standards, and we will not be exacerbating whatever values currently exist from an environmental point of view. We will also be conducting the construction in a manner that is safe and will not cause, once constructed, any flood or erosion damage, and that the variance requested is we submit is the minimum necessary. Our initial application, I must tell the board, as I'm sure you may know, we wanted to have the structure even closer to the bluff line. We are moving it back so that it does not encroach any further than what currently exists. On the bungalow and raised deck. I have with me, by the way, the applicant's architect, Philip Rosillo, and the engineer, Thomas Wolpert. I asked that Mr. Rosillo come to the podium and answer any questions that the board may have from a technical aspect, and likewise the same with respect to the engineer. We are aware of an engineer. The town's engineer has submitted its evaluation and to the planning board, but also has given it to the attention of this board. And well, I presume that you have already read it, and if you have any questions from a technical aspect, from an architectural or siting point of view, or from an engineering point of view, we have Mr. Rosillo and Mr. Wolpert to answer any questions. If you have any further questions,
Counselor, I do. I have a question.
Hold on.
The survey that we received in the packet to review this case, is it going to be different than what you're talking about? Because I'm looking at a survey that shows a 2-bedroom cottage being proposed.
Yes, sir. It will be different.
That wasn't going to be the case.
The answer is yes, and that is that the structure, the how shall I say, the footprint of the structure as shown in that survey will actually,
right,
the dimensions will remain the same, but it will be further landward, so that the line closest to the bluff coincides with the existing line of the bungalow and raised deck.
So what we're looking at is not going to happen. Is that what we're saying?
That's
we're going to change
yes, sir.
that. We're going to amend that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in those amendments, I have a little problem with the pool being in the front near the bluff line. I really do. I don't know how the other board members feel, but I would suggest that you reconsider placing it in front of the house and put it streetward behind the house towards the street. That's just me, and that's my opinion on this right now. And having a full basement near the bluff line, that could be dangerous to this environmental sensitive area. I would suggest that if you put the house where you're proposing it, that you do at least the front part of the house with a crawl space and back further, put a foundation in, not the whole structure. That's just a suggestion I'm making.
Well, thank you for your comment. May I say, we have considered that,
Okay.
and by our engineers here as a result to answer any of those questions. Obviously, it's going to be further forensically examined when submitted to the planning board, once this, assuming that this board approves the 219 permit application. And that kind of information will be delved in with further detail. But to answer your general question, or your general the issues that you have, it is, our engineer intends to evaluate the premises and has evaluated the premises and can conclude and will be able to demonstrate in consultation with the town's engineer that the siting of the pool, as amended, in its location further landward will not adversely affect the integrity of the bluff line. And likewise, the home itself, with a full basement, likewise will not adversely affect the integrity of the lot line. So, if I may.
So we need an amended site plan then.
Well, I would say,
To make a decision, we need an amended site plan. So we can study it.
yes, you'll have an amended site plan for your records, of course.
Okay.
And at the same time, at the appropriate time, we will have our engineer to have a discussion with the town's engineer to address whatever issues and our engineer will render a determination. Based on his professional opinion, that the siting of the pool and the home of the structure, as amended, will not adversely affect the integrity of the bluff line. If I
Okay.
may,
That's our biggest concern.
okay, pertinent to your question.
So can I make a few comments?
Sure, if I may, just one point. I would like to, yes, please. Is it fair to say that the engineers, our engineer's evaluation of this is going to be, is that addressable to this board or to the planning board, or both? In other words, whatever
Both.
questions regarding the siting of the construction of the pool and the home with the full basement, is that going to be an evaluation to be presented to this board in addition to the planning board?
No, it's this board because it's the location of these items on the.
That's what I thought. I just want to clarify that. So the evaluation that I just mentioned will be presented to this board, of course, and obviously in discussions with the town's engineer as well.
Excuse me, I have to say, I've got this site plan in front of me, but a lot of things don't apply because they're labeled improperly or anything. Do we have anything better than this?
They're going to be amending it.
It's going to be amended, but if you have, I mean, I've looked at the site plan. It seems to contain the pertinent information regarding the existing application, mindful it's going to be amended. And as Mrs. Trojanowski just mentioned, it's going to be amended and will specify whatever specifications, both narrative and in data form, regarding the relocation of the proposed structure as compared to what we currently propose.
So the amended will show that the pool is moved back?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Simultaneously, on this
Okay, so
survey,
you're going to have to amend the
one-story
application
frame
then.
guest
And
house,
I'm
submit
sorry.
Right.
two-bedroom.
A new survey.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Leroy.
And I do have some comments,
Please.
Hold
if I
on.
could.
Leroy, were
Question.
you finished?
So the hot tub that is sitting on the bluff was placed there without benefit of a permit and with no certificate of occupancy, correct?
From our information, yes, the prior owner, I don't know, the immediate predecessor or prior to that time, may have installed the hot tub, but it's going to be removed.
Okay, next, there appears, our engineers report that there's been some clearing of the property without the benefit of a permit.
Well, I visited the site, and I am aware that landward of the existing dwelling, there seems to be, I see a disturbance. I'm not aware that it's a. I think it was done for purposes of protecting what was going to be done and what currently exists.
Okay, but there was no permit for that activity, correct?
I'm not aware of, I don't believe so. I'm not aware of any permit. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Our architect,
Next.
if I may,
How's the
hold on, pertinent to your question.
Has the garage been converted?
Yes,
Has the garage been converted to living space presently?
well, during the stewardship of the current owner, no. I can tell you from my understanding is that the prior owner would have occasion to visit the premises during the wintertime. The bungalow is not insulated and it's not protected from the cold. And that what the family has done when they have visited the premises in the wintertime is that it's been better for them because of to use the accessory structure. That's my understanding of it, but in any event.
What?
I'm sorry,
As
what? I can hear you.
Justin?
They would use it as what?
That's not mine, and it's the internet.
Yeah, Anne Marie, can you speak up a little bit?
Is there a
Sure.
question?
Anne Marie?
You could probably raise our volume.
What would they use the accessory structure for?
The accessory structure is going to consist of a office space potentially used for gaming purposes only, not for habitable space, and a bathroom. The actual garage component is going to be removed. So actually the proposed structure, as I just described, will actually be less of a presence than what currently exists. There's always the understanding, so that there's full disclosure, there's a possibility, not that the applicant is currently thinking of it, but down the road, should there come a time when the applicant desires to use the accessory structure for habitable purposes, the applicant, Mr. and Mrs. Pastrano, understand that they would have to make the appropriate application to the town of Riverhead.
Well, you're setting the application up for additional relief because pursuant to town code, an accessory apartment can be no greater than 650 square feet. So while you're amending the current structure, you're still sizing it over what would be permitted potentially later on.
Good, thank you for that input.
Are you aware of that?
Thank you, and obviously at the appropriate time, after all, the existing structure already has a C of O and has already been approved by the Zoning Board of Appeals, I think in August of 2010. But should there come a time when we want to have an apartment, mindful of what you just mentioned, we would have to obviously look at that and apply for relief appropriate to the square footage requirements allowed for accessory structures used for an apartment.
Just to make a note,
Council, there lies the problem. There lies the problem.
Yeah.
The relief granted back in 2010 did not permit use of that structure for habitable space. So what you also must do when you amend your plans is amend your application, because essentially what you're asking the Zoning Board of Appeals to do is to amend that determination.
No, I don't believe so, in the following way. Right, as we sit here today, the proposed accessory structure is going to be used for an office space with its potential as a gaming room. It's not going to be used for an apartment and for a bathroom, and the garage is going to be removed. So I would, that's what we're asking for today.
With all due respect, the Zoning Board of Appeals grant of approval was for a garage with no habitable space. So you are in fact seeking to ask the zoning board to amend that relief.
Well, if we...
Plain on the face of the approval.
Well, I'm aware what the approval stated in 2010 says. I understand that. But what was constructed in accordance with that approval was what described as the office space and the bathroom and the carport associated with it. That what was done my understanding is it was done approximately at that time as a result of the ZBA in 2010 giving the approval.
Council, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to ask you to take a harder look. I'd like to move on. In your application, is this a 4 or 5 bedroom house? Because in the Zoning Board of Appeals application, you state it's a 5 bedroom, and in the EAF, you state it's a 4 bedroom.
On the survey as well.
I think it's 4.
Surveys.
It's a 4 bedroom. The proposed new structure.
Okay, well, if you look at the Zoning Board of Appeals application under nature of relief, subsection 3, you describe it as a 5 bedroom. So you should correct that.
All right, to be corrected.
Next, in your application.
Yes, we agree. We will,
There are two
in addition
significant-
to amending the survey, make that appropriate correction, correct?
Next, in the application, you make two significant statements. Quote, maintaining minimal disturbance, end quote. Quote, highest degree of environmental protection of coastal hazard area, end quote. Yet, this proposal that you're presenting now is going to require excavation for a basement and excavation for a pool, correct?
Well, yes, the excavation to be done by hand, by the way. And yes, you are correct. It would require excavation for the new pool and for the basement. That is correct.
So how is that maintaining minimal disturbance?
Because relative to where the existing deck is, which itself is elevated on pilings, that already, we submit, is a disturbance within that area. And the home, and is going to be, the new home would be located landward of that. Therefore, in as much as the activity would be even further away from where the already disturbed area is, consisting of the elevated deck, we believe that the construction would not exacerbate any environmental value associated with its location to the bluff.
So
If you
don't
intend to
believe
amend
that
your plans,
I'm
go
sorry?
ahead, Anne Marie.
You don't believe that excavation of a basement and a pool within the coastal hazard area, you believe that does not exacerbate, and instead that maintains minimal disturbance.
Well, we will be
position?
I'm sorry. To your good question, we will be maintaining minimal disturbance. At the appropriate time, and obviously subject to review, our means and methods of construction, and including appropriate bales and other water, other construction impacts will be avoided. And once the building is in place, that it will not exacerbate the environmental its proximity to the bluff, and that construction, therefore, and including once the home is used, will therefore satisfy the concerns that the board may have regarding its proximity to the bluff line.
So your survey does not include any distances from the bluff. And the way the application that was presented to the zoning board and the one that's before them now actually shows the pool actually on the bluff.
Well, for the two
So
things.
the next plan and survey should clearly show the distances from the bluff.
We agree,
In
yes.
addition, what is the plan for all of the material excavated for the pool and the house, the basement?
That would be included. That would be included in our submission of the amended site plan, and to include for how we intend to dispose of the fill, not only the anticipated quantity of the fill to be removed, but that it would be located. Removed to some other appropriate landfill or disposed of in some other way, but certainly not on the property.
Well, don't you think that would be significant for the Zoning Board of Appeals to have that information?
Well, I think it's.
Well, because
yes, the answer is yes.
Alternative is if you keep it on site, you're significantly changing the topography of the property.
you're saying a number of things here. In terms of the topography, I should tell you that the existing survey actually it's flat land essentially, and there are points, topographical points delineated on the existing survey. Nevertheless, the amended survey that will describe the new location, as I just gave in this presentation now, will to the extent necessary, provide even further topographical information and data, but also will include, would detail our estimate of the fill to be removed, that the means and methods by which the fill is to be removed, and that it's going to be removed at an appropriate location, not off premises, in a matter that, in some other location that is permitted for acceptance of that kind of activity. So the survey, the amended document, site plan, will address those points. May I say the points that you're now raising were really brought to our attention only today when the engineering report of the town raised that as an issue to be addressed, and we intend to address it. And it will be addressed, by the way.
Drainage located?
I'm sorry, and it will
site?
be addressed. It will be addressed in the amended survey, site plan, I should say. I'm sorry, you said something else about drainage?
I think we're to the point now. Let's wait for the amended survey and site plan and amended application, and then we'll evaluate it and then have them come back.
Great. I have one more issue, though, I must raise.
Okay.
So, in the building department records, and there was a significant pond on the property. And I believe planning staff, Heather in particular, requested that an expert provide a report regarding the wetland on the property.
Yeah, so I provided the zoning board with a copy of my staff report, and that is something I brought up. I spoke with the applicant's counsel, and that's something that they are working on currently.
We most certainly, we understand that. We also, we will be, by the way, may I say that our initial view is, given that the proposed location of the structures is either further landward than our, the amended proposed location is going to be even further landward of the bluff line, and there will not be any encroachment within the regulated area of this pond or lowland depression, even if it was a wetland. Therefore, we think that an evaluation of that kind is unnecessary. Nevertheless, we are prepared and will use an environmental consultant to look at the pond, and that depressed area, I should say, and under the criteria of the New York State DEC, have that consultant render an evaluation as to whether or not it is a protected wetland, subject to regulation under SECRA and under the town code's environmental quality review provisions. And if so, we understand we'd have to make further application to the CAC.
That's correct, and it may impact the other site improvements that you have plotted out on the plan submitted to the Zoning Board of Appeals.
It's possible, and once the amended survey is prepared and then presented to this board, and to the extent that, and subject to the evaluation of our environmental consultant, of course, further review by the town's environmental consultant as well, there may be, we will be addressing what you just said. I think, by the way, the appropriate jurisdiction is the CAC.
Yes, the Conservation Advisory Council.
Right, the CAC.
Yes.
Right, so they would be addressing those issues, and obviously we'd have to respond to them satisfactorily.
So I'd like to make a point. There are town-identified wetlands, and then there are DEC wetlands. So we have to make sure we know which wetland that was and how it was mapped.
I can tell you...
Are you familiar with those town maps, Heather?
So on our GIS, it doesn't come up as a flagged wetland, but we've run into several instances where the maps that we have don't reflect the existing site conditions. There were a few properties just east of the subject parcel that had wetlands on them, but they weren't mapped. So those applicants went through the same
Okay.
process where they had an environmental consultant come out. It was determined that it was a wetland, they were flagged, and then they went through the Conservation and Advisory Council process. Greg Bergman, the senior planner, he's the liaison to that board. He's very familiar with what those applications.
And may I say
Okay.
too, by the way,
Just
if
want
I
to
may,
make sure that they know there's a difference between the two
right.
types of
Yeah.
wetlands.
but may I say too, also in the record, we have letters from the New York State DEC for stating it does not have jurisdiction over the matter. Those have
Yeah, we saw it.
those have already been filed with the board.
Yes, that's pursuant to tidal wetlands. because it's
Actually, that's
above-
pursuant to tidal wetlands.
Yeah,
That's
because
true.
it's above a certain elevation contour. And
Right.
once the DEC renders a non-jurisdiction on a property, they don't reissue a letter unless site conditions have changed. And they determined that based on the submitted survey, the site conditions were consistent with when they initially issued the no jurisdiction letter. So in terms of the Bluff area, DEC issued their letter of no jurisdiction.
And we still intend to address, as I stated earlier, whether or not that depression actually is a freshwater wetland. And if it is, obviously, we'd have to make the appropriate application for a relief before the CAC.
Anne Marie?
Okay, well, I think we've covered everything to this point.
I think so. So just to highlight, if I could, there's going to be an amended application. Portions of the application are going to be corrected. We're going to get a survey with distances from the bluff. We're going to have where drainage is identified. You're going to address whether it's cut and fill, hauling out, and the topography. I believe you need to seek to amend the grant of the variance from August 12, 2010, and you're going to address the wetland.
And any other concerns that Vinnie Gordiello had in his memo?
I'm sorry, the last one.
Correct.
Address the, but may I say this? I took notes, Anne Marie, of your comments, address wetlands. It's still not clear to me that we have to seek to, based upon what I indicated, that we need to amend the variance, the ZBA variance that was granted in 2010, where it did say we're approving the accessory structure, but it cannot be used for habitable purposes. Since we do not intend to use the premises for that purpose.
It was an accessory structure as a garage.
Yeah, I mean, on the application, it's for a two-bedroom cottage. So you have to change that.
We are aware of that, and no.
Gotta take that off.
That will be, the amended site plan will reflect the
Okay.
fact that the proposed structure, it represents a partial demolition of the existing structure by removal of the garage, keeping the bathroom, and having a room designated as an office space potential gaming room, period.
Okay, so
Ask you a
the
question on that.
2010
Excuse me.
variance
With
said
respect
no
to
habitable
what's being
space. There's a
demolished,
bathroom in there.
'cause
That's
you've got
habitable space.
the one-story frame guest bedroom, I assume the garage is next, is a portion of that. That portion of the garage is coming down. But then you have this proposed one-story exterior storage. Is that going to be a remnant of what's in the garage? I don't understand what that triangle is that's on the plan.
Let me have our architect address that question.
Okay, we need to swear you in, sir. Raise your right hand. Do you
Philip
solemnly
Priscilla.
swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please state your name and address.
Philip Rosillo, 82 Meadowbrook Road, Syosset, New York.
Bring that mic up a little so we can hear you. Thank you.
So regarding the accessory structure, so there is a bit of a typo in the survey. That space is an office space with a bathroom and a pretty open space with two rooms. The idea here is to remove the existing garage and provide storage for lawnmowers, tools, garden tools, and things like that. That's what the triangle is.
So that triangle's still kind of in where the existing garage was, but the garage is going to go and then you're going to build a new storage structure there?
Not exactly. So the existing structure, which is basically this office, the garage is right attached to it. We're removing that and then putting the storage on the opposite side so that they can enter more in line and access with the center of the property. So it's basically, it's hard to explain, but removing the garage and then putting the accessory here, the storage here, so that you can go through the center.
Okay, so at the end of the day, three independent structures on the
No,
property?
well, it's all connected. It's under one roof, and it's sitting on the foundation that was there, the slab. It's not,
Is it
it's,
almost going to be like a breezeway between the
it's a
triangle
breezeway.
and the-
It's a
okay.
breezeway, exactly. So it's basically, that's one slab, one roof, and we're basically just putting this triangle under that same roof.
Got it, I think.
It's a modern structure. so-
Okay, I look forward to your amended site plan.
Okay.
Would you also indicate the setback from the bluff for those structures? In this amendment, in your amendment?
Yes, we'll have all the setbacks from the bluff.
And also, we're kind of suggesting that the pool be a little smaller, size being moved?
I think we can do that as well, yes.
Alright.
We talked about that. I think one of the things that, when you look at, just to kind of go through and maybe summarize some of the points that were made, if you work from the front of the road side of the property, we do have this kind of pond area with an existing driveway leading to a parking area, an open space, and then this accessory structure, and then there's some field, and then the existing house. The space between the existing structure and the existing house is what we're kind of condensing, and we're trying to put our septic system in there as well as our drainage. We do have a very elaborate drainage system that will handle 100% of the water that falls on any impervious surface. They're not shown on the survey, but they're on drawing A113, which is our architectural set.
Would you be able to provide me with a PDF of that?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And so that shows that we are picking up 100% of the stormwater and any water that falls on impervious surfaces, roofs, patios, even the pool has its own dry well. So that's something that we can provide to the board. But again, this is a very linear site. It's tight, so the space is kind of limited. So if we're kind of pushing and pulling, we were able to redesign the septic system prior to this meeting, and that allowed us to kind of scoot everything back landward to what Anton has been talking about this evening. So we're doing everything we can to kind of get, all of the function in there and try to reduce the impact on the bluff.
Okay. All right, Cal, we're
Well, have you
inclined to...
considered any alternative designs as recommended by Leroy Barnes of locating the pool in between south of the house?
We have, and the issue with that, again, comes to our septic system sitting in between there and the proper setbacks from the septic system. So that, that's a bit of a...
Well, couldn't the septic system sit where you're proposing a basketball court and really mitigate the impacts to the coastal hazard area?
I didn't consider moving it into the front of the property beyond that. I mean, obviously, we'd have to go around the accessory structure. Right.
May I say, the proposed septic system, I can tell you, is designed by FujiClean. It's already been approved and certified for advanced septic system use, particularly on the east end of Long Island, by the Suffolk County Department of Health Services. So we're putting in a much more improved, state-of-the-art septic system as compared to what currently exists on the property. And I think that should be taken into account for purposes of keeping the proposed septic system FujiClean where we would like to have it, and frankly, and having the pool, well, subject to, as I indicated, the amended site plan located further landward, but between the proposed dwelling and the line of the bluff, with the encroachment being no further than what currently exists.
Council, with all due respect, these advanced septic systems for a project such as this is a requirement by Suffolk County Health Department. So yes, it's improved, but it's a requirement.
Oh, I agree.
It's not like you're voluntarily doing it.
Okay. I did not mean to say that we're giving something that we had to give. We understand that under the Suffolk County Sanitary Code, that a advanced septic system is required. We're simply saying that as a matter of record that septic system will be a dramatic improvement over the old-fashioned septic system that's currently in place. And as a result, the overall impact.
But it doesn't address.
I'm sorry?
It doesn't address whether or not it could be relocated to accommodate the pool south of the house.
Well, I do think that considering the circumstances of how the property is currently configured, that it is not unreasonable to have the pool located at its new proposed location further landward, as you know, and that the board consider that in determining to grant the 219 application.
Well, I guess it will all depend on the new revised plan that is submitted. I mean, it's kind of difficult to talk about it because in one part you're talking about the revised plan, but the only plan the Zoning Board of Appeals has before it is actually significantly different from what you're describing.
And we agree, obviously, what we have in front of you is different than what we intend to do, and obviously you will get, and you're entitled to have and to review the amended site plan in the manner that I just discussed tonight.
Okay. Excuse me, Anne Marie? Anne Marie?
Yes.
Oh, I think we've had enough discussion.
Yes,
I'd like to know how long it would take to get the amended
I
site
agree.
plan.
How long will it take you to do this?
Amended site plan.
I mean, I think we could,
Okay, sure, go
I
ahead.
mean, I think we could turn this around in a week or so.
Yeah.
How about a month, which would be the 12th?
So today, we're not going to have another meeting in March,
Yeah.
but we will have one meeting in the
No, we're in
1st
November.
of December, right?
Yeah, so the next meeting would fall on Thanksgiving,
this-
and Town Hall is closed, so we won't be holding a zoning board meeting that night. So the following meeting would be the second Thursday in December, which is the 12th,
Is that enough time for you? Is
December 12th.
that good
So-
for you?
Can we clear everything up that was discussed tonight?
Yes,
With that
absolutely.
site plan, because this one is really confusing.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
you're talking about something, we're looking at something that,
Yeah. No, I understand. I understand the confusion. I can see how.
What we'd like to do, by the way, I think it's doable, is given that the hearing is December the 12th, is that we make sure that we give, Heather, we will give to you the amended site plan for distribution.
Sure.
Yeah,
to the board.
everything you need to
Ahead
resubmit,
of
you
time,
can
by the
submit
way,
to
so
me,
you can
and I'll,
look at it and-
yeah.
And obviously be better focused as to what we're actually intending to do, and to be able to address any concerns or questions you may have.
Please do.
Yes.
All right, so
anyone else have anything more to add?
I make a motion, we adjourn this to December 12th.
Second.
All right, Mr. Barnes. Motion to adjourn the December 12th. Mr. Porsche.
Aye.
Mr. Zawarski.
Aye.
Mr. Barnes, no. Mr.
Gazillo.
Gazillo. He just gotta have to laugh a little bit. And I also say aye, so
Thank you
the
very much.
12th, all right?
Good night.
And please be ready for us.
We do, we have minutes from October 10th.
I may have a motion that they be approved.
So be it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And motion to.
Motion to adjourn? All in favor?
Aye.
Good.
And the next motion.